So the Type 99 rifle, if you look deep into it, it really looks like Japan spared no expense at all, which is unfortunately something you do not want when war breaks out. So as the war progresses, Japan, becoming a little more desperate, started shaving off corners where they can. So I have a little story regarding this rifle. In game, of course, I cannot own guns where I'm from. I was on Reddit and I came across a player who was asking what, in game, is the difference between the late and early version of the Type 99 rifle, and why are the battle ratings different. And the poor guy is receiving comments from people explaining the real life historical difference instead of answering the question. Anyway, not to discredit everybody, there are a few who actually answered the guy's question, myself included, which I will talk about in today's video. So the Type 99 rifle, if you look deep into it, it really looks like Japan spared no expense at all, which is unfortunately something you do not want when war breaks out. You need to be able to produce equipment as quickly as your forces lose them, so as the war progresses, Japan, becoming a little more desperate, started shaving off corners where they can. As you can see, the wood, some parts omitted, looks unpolished and unvarnished. The iron sights went from a range adjustable with anti-air wing sights to a simple hole. The bolt handle went from a grape shape to a roughly cut cylinder, dust cover not included, thumb safety went from a durian pattern to a plain circle, and of course the barbecue tongs, monopod, is omitted. There are lots of shaving of corners until we end up with this, the late war version of the Type 99 rifle. So what about Enlisted? There are some differences between the late and early version, but if I have to pick one to grind till endgame, I'll just roll with the late version of the Type 99. Let me show you. So using Japanese 303 or 77 by 58, it does 23 points of damage, one shot down a kill, with a high chance of killing, and yes, no need to worry about boosted health and body armor. Although interestingly enough, it's higher than the early version. Not that it really matters in the end, and like most bolt actions, 5 round internal magazine fed with triple clips in 3.2 seconds. It's about the same as the early version, and if you are loading half a magazine, you will be loading bullet by bullet, the usual bolt action reloads. But don't forget, should you need to, you can always cancel the reload halfway by tapping the reload key again or clicking left mouse button. Now accuracy is what supposedly separates this gun from the early version, at 18 points versus 15 on the early. Now it is still more accurate than semi-autos and assault guns, but it is a bolt action, it's expected to be better. That said, however, it still gets the job done. But then again, if the accuracy is kicking your ass, you can always just upgrade it. Now a more significant difference is the fire rate, at 42 rounds per minute, which is actually slow. And yes, you will notice it coming from the early version. But not to worry, simply getting tier 2 upgrade, yes, this battle rating 1 is simple, to resolve it. Otherwise, be a bit careful when playing aggressively with this rifle. Now one more thing to note, the iron sights. You can see in the background. Unfortunately, it's the same for both early and late war versions, and personally, I'm not a huge fan of these iron sights. There have been moments where I lost sight of my targets at medium ranges, and sometimes long ranges. But thankfully short ranges is not too big of an issue. Ammo count is okay, 5 clips total, on a slow bolt action rifle. Usually you run out of life before you run out of bullets, and at that point you would have already built an ammo box. Unless you didn't, so if you wish to wear something else other than the ammo pouch, go right ahead. Now upgrading this rifle, if you really want to run both actions until endgame, and this is your pick, then yeah, upgrade however much you want. It's better rating 1, it's cheap. Unless you want either the Type 38 or save up for the early version. The one increases accuracy. Accuracy is not bad on this rifle, but if it is a problem for you, then sure. Only 36 silver, so why not? Tier 2 increases rate of fire. This rate of fire increase more or less resolves the slow bow cycling problem, even more if you pair it with the bow cycling skill. However, the result is on par with the early version stock rate of fire. So it might feel like you just spent silver for something you could have just spent on something else. But thankfully, even after getting tier 2 upgrade, the value of the late Type 99 rifle is still just under 300 silver. Tier 3 increases damage and accuracy. Accuracy is more or less resolved with tier 1, but you're here for the damage, which does bump to 26.9 points of damage. Thank this you boosted Health Abomination, but this true one-shot damage only goes up to 30 meters, so don't expect the similar results at long range. So normally I would say only get tier 1 or 2 upgrades if you wanna save up, but this is a better rating 1 rifle, it's cheap. And if you do plan on using this rifle till the end game, then yeah, max upgrading them will very much pay itself off in the end. But why the late version? Mostly because it's cheaper. You end up with almost the exact same performance for a much lower price. You do get a better rate of fire with the early version, but late version still works quite well, and also better rating 1. If I wish to play better rating 1, probably for a weapon I skipped or wanna review, then I have a bunch of better rating 1 rifles I can just load up and go, instead of accidentally up-tiering a better rating 1 weapon. But not to say that the early version is bad, you investing in the early version more or less pays itself off as well. It is a little more expensive, but you do get a better rate of fire out of it. However, in the end, I still pick the Type 38 rifle. I prefer the iron sights, despite the ongoing debates about the sights on these two rifles, and also the Type 38's insane rate of fire and dead-on accuracy. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about the Type 99 early. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall leave you to the gameplay now. Cheers!
雷が仕掛けられている。敵は起爆の準備をしている。爆弾を解除しろ。連合軍は爆弾を解除している。敵が爆発物を仕掛けている。
こいつは終わるだ。チュー地獄で会おうぜ。さっさと死にやがれ。くっそー、玉切れだ。再装填。やっとだ。お前も終わりだ。さっさと死にやがれ。楽勝だったぜ。死にやがれ。
Not so tough now that you're here, huh?
楽勝だったぜ。
Welcome to the cab, sniper.
Story 倒したぞ。
敵が爆発物を仕掛け
命中。
敵が爆発物を仕掛け目標から爆弾を取り除け。
奥で会おうぜ。
Yeah, I think they are spawning on the ready point, which is somewhere back here. Yep. I don't know, guys. Is ammo box working? Who needs snipers when you have iron sights? That's right. Scopes are for pussies.
敵が爆弾を仕掛けているぞ。
Move, move. The fuck?
目標に地雷が仕掛けられた。処理するんだ。
相手にならないか。騒げるんだ。再装填。陛下のために万歳。
I need ammo. For the Emperor.
砲兵支援が必要だ。
I'm coughing the shoes. Cough the shoes, sir.
占拠しているぞ。
陛下のために突撃。地点は占拠する。容赦するな。陛下のために突撃。
I'm so sorry for the quick scope. He's kind of bushy sometimes. Like that.
やったー。陛下のために万歳。攻撃。
よくやったぞお前たち。
Oh my goodness.
いいねこのネズミが
Get off your high horse.
視点を守りきれ お前でよかったぜ
God, the delay.
よし
陣地を占拠しているぞ。
楽勝だったぜ ちっくしょ体再装填するよし A2 死ねさっさと死にやがれ地獄へ落ちろ 勝利は我々のものだ
敵は
奴らを通す
Oh my god. I'm just trying to build shit.
万歳 奴らを通すな 当たり 地獄で会おうぜ 死にたいか
50 count.
視点を守りきれ お前でよかったぜ さっさと死にやがれ
You might want to back off now. Nice legs, bro.
一人倒したぞ
敵
Nice to see that somebody didn't skip link there.
それやったやったぞ
敵が我々の構成点を制圧しようとしている。敵が我々の構成点を
奴らを通す突撃陛下のために万歳前進
Reload.
敵が我々の構成点の占拠を始めたぞ。
突撃
Contain it.
もっと食らいたいか相手になるのか最初点お前も終わり
Oh shit.
だ
Right. Thank you for doing that.
お前でよかったぜ
What do I do for a machine gun right about now?
我々の構成点を制圧しようとしている。
奴らを通すなクソ野郎どもが
Okay, game. Okay. I get it. You hate me. I hate you too.
相手にならないな命中 どもが奴らを通すな出血していね